Great. Yeah. So in the previous session, Friday session, I'm talking. Uh, we covered complete week 4, right? So till now, in these TA sessions, we had completed from week 1 to week 4. That means we are ready for quiz 1. At least the content is covered for that, right? And in the Sunday sessions, I expect that you are that is intended mainly for the practice. I think Apurva is helping you guys practice different problems, right? So I just want to know what is the status regarding that. From week 1 to week 4, are you guys ready? Are you really understanding the terminologies and the concepts? When someone speaks of the terms related to these 4 weeks, for example, if I say attribute, if I say entity and entity set, then do ask yourself this question: do you have the knowledge of these things? Can you distinguish between them? Can you explain these things if someone asks you to do that? Right. So ask yourself these questions. These questions will help you clarify that are you really done with first 4 weeks and really ready for quiz 1, right? So in this session I have like a couple of things. Either I can cover week 5, I can start week 5, or we can just go and solve previous term questions of quiz 1, right? And the third thing is, if you want, we can have a quick revision on week 1 to week 4. Although in the previous Tuesday session, I gave you a fair outline of week 1 to week 3 before starting week 4. But still, these are the three things that are currently in my mind for this session. Either we can start week 5, or we can have a revision session. I don't know how long it will take, but we can have it, or we can solve the previous term questions.
Sir, PYQ.
So
PYQ.
second option.
PYQ.
Okay. So most of you are asking, demanding for PYQs, and some of you are also asking for revision. So we can do one thing. We will start PYQs, and whenever we will need the background to solve that question, we will just go back to our whiteboard and we will get the complete background of that, right? It will help us revise only that specific part of the syllabus that is being asked in the exam, correct? Great. Just give me 1 minute.
Sir,
Yes.
you gave few questions to solve for TRC and DRC. Can you share the answers for that, sir?
Where to solve?
Like few questions if I given some schema and then I think 15 questions, 20 questions
Uh,
for TRC and DRC.
okay. In one of the previous session, I gave some
Yeah,
problems. Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
asking? Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you please share the answers, sir?
um, I think you are right. Please remind me that after we will be done with this session, just remind me that I will try to give the answer sheet on the discourse. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, if time is there, can you please one more time explain TRC and GRC?
Yeah, sure. We can do that. Don't worry. These questions will repeat in
Okay.
in the quiz 1. We will cover that.
Salim, can you mute others? Background noise is coming.
Okay. Shall we start with the latest one?
Yeah, okay.
Let's hit open. Go to learning mode. Great. Okay, so before starting this, I will request you just go and bring a pen and paper. I will not be solving any of these questions. If you feel that you are not capable to solve these questions, I will help you to get the background by explaining the concept. But these questions are up to you. I'm not going to solve them at all. So I'm waiting for 1 minute. Just go and bring pen and paper and keep it close to you. Ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first question. Which of the following creates the schema of a database? Can you focus on the word schema?
Data definition language.
DDL.
Data
It's
definition language.
DDL. Option A.
All agreed? Very simple, right? We discussed this again and again in multiple sessions. Whenever we were doing a comparison between DDL and DML, it was mainly about schema versus instances, right? So schema is handled or created by data definition language. So consider a given schema. This is the given schema. By the way, this is not the same as your ER diagram. It is one more notation to write ER diagram. Whenever you see this type of multiple lines going to an entity set, it means many. Okay. And when you don't see it, it means one. Okay. In this type of ERD notation, this is how we read ER diagrams. As I said in one of the session that there are different ways to create ER diagram. We learned only one of that. And even in exam, you will not receive this type of diagram. You will receive those type of diagrams which you learned in the slides. Maybe the creator of this website created this schema by themselves to put it here. Which of the following SQL statements correctly creates a table course with a primary key and foreign key referencing instructor? So let me zoom it out. Yeah, here is the schema. They are asking which of the following SQL statements correctly creates a table course with a primary key. So course is here and a foreign key referencing instructor. Mostly instructor ID, right? So in these type of questions, the most logical thing is to find what is incorrect and where it is incorrect. Find the incorrect options, just rule them out, and whatever is left, it is correct. That's it. So what about the first option? Is it correct or not?
Correct.
It
Correct.
is,
Correct, sir.
yeah, it is creating ID varchar and it is perfectly giving primary key to it. Name, term, prerequisite, all of them are just about the attribute name and the attribute type. There is no constraint at all. And then prerequisite, instructor ID, and after defining instructor ID, they are directly giving the reference to instructor and using the parenthesis, then the attribute ID. So I think we learned it in the Friday session of third week, right? When we were discussing referential constraints. So this is how we used to do it. There were two ways. Either you define instructor ID and then at the bottom of the schema, mention instructor ID and then give the reference. Or when you are creating your attribute after the type, then also you can give the reference. So the first option is doing the direct referencing. Second option, the problem is, I think, here, right? Everything else is same. The problem is here. Can we reference like this, instructor dot ID?
No.
No, right? And the third one, what is the problem?
They're not
Again,
using the reference properly.
yeah, it is referencing to the whole table instructor. So this is also incorrect. In the fourth one, what is the problem? Or is it there any problem?
No, it is not creating any problem.
It's
So,
correct.
in the fourth point, so
Yes.
before the primary, where the primary key wording is there, so
Yes.
shouldn't there be a comma?
Primary key is saying that you are considering instructor ID as the primary key of course table. When you are saying instructor ID, varchar primary key, you can see we didn't give primary key to this ID this time. We are giving the primary key to instructor ID, and then we are also giving the reference, foreign key reference to it.
So primary key is written for ID, instructor ID or ID.
Instructor ID. So if I explain you in simple words, if you execute this SQL query, then this instructor ID will act both as a primary key and foreign key, both. And it is possible. We can use same attribute as primary key and foreign key. So this is kind of weird to do, but their question was very abstract. They were just asking which of the following SQL statement correctly creates a table course with a primary key and foreign key referencing instructor. So they didn't specify about same attribute being primary key or foreign key. So I don't see any issue with this fourth option also.
So, but why primary key bracket ID is written?
Right, there is.
So my point is just that there should be comma before the primary key wording is there. If the
Right.
comma is there,
I think there should be. Okay. No, I think they made a mistake here. They didn't want to give instructor ID uh, the primary key to the instructor ID. I think they missed one comma here after varchar.
yes, sir, yes.
Sir, we can give command primary key with the attributes, and after
No, after worker
involve
there
the
won't be
attributes.
any comma.
Yes.
We can give both type, right, sir?
Yes, we can.
So
And
here,
I think
comma
they-
is the problem.
yes. So this fourth option is also incorrect because they didn't give any comma here. They wanted to specify the primary key attribute of this ID separately. And just because of this comma, I was confusing it that they are trying to give primary key to the instructor ID. But it is not like that because you can see here in the brackets, they are clearly referencing ID. So there must be a comma here. This is incorrect syntax. Okay, so I think this was a typo from their side. That is why they had selected the fourth option also. But our eyes are open. This is incorrect. So this is a discrepancy case. Consider the following schema. This is the schema. Find the names of the employees who work in department IT and the project status is in pending. So do you have the pen and paper? I'm not even showing you the option. Your task is to go and write relational algebra and tuple relational calculus for this question. Can you do that? I know I'm making it kind of unnecessary, but some of you are having confusion in TRC or even in RA. So that's why it will be a good practice. Just focus on the foreign keys. They are the key for uh, finding out the relationships and writing the query. So the question is very clever. Department name is here, IT. So for finding, filtering IT departments, you have to access this department table or entity set. And this status pending, if you want to apply this filter, then you have to access this project entity set. And you want to find the names of the employees. Names of the employees are in this entity set. So they cleverly asking you to make a join between all three entity sets, right? Just tell me when you will be done. We will see the options and you can match if your options are matching. By the way, in this question, they had given all the options, relational algebra also, ERC also, and DRC also. So where can I get the recording of this class? See, we are maintaining a separate sheet of all TA sessions. You can access them through Discourse. When you will go inside DBMS course in Discourse, you will see a post at the top, DBMS TA session resources. Inside that post, you will be able to access all TA session resources, notes, and these recordings. Okay, I have given you enough time. Here are the options. You can match and tell me which of them are correct.
Option B.
First is correct,
Option,
second is also
option A is correct or not?
correct.
Correct, sir. Correct.
There are two filters applied to this natural join between these three entity sets. So first of all, tell me, is this natural join correct?
Yes,
Will
because
it
this
use
matches with the all ID.
correct foreign keys? So for that, we have to see the name of the foreign keys. So you can see both of them have the same name, emp ID. And when we see the PID, here
DID.
we have the DID. So
In project and
yeah, this
department,
one,
we have PID.
DID. Yes. So I think the namings are same. So this will be correct, this natural join. Then we are applying the correct filters and then we are projecting the correct attribute name. So I think it is correct. Let's see the second one. We are selecting a tuple T such that there is a tuple E from employee, tuple D from department, tuple P from project, and then we will start applying the conditions. First condition is just filling the name of the employee, correct? Because we want the name. Then what do you think? What are the conditions we need? Two conditions for filtering. And what are the remaining conditions?
Yeah, option B is also correct.
Yes, sir.
Right. In TRC, we need two types of conditions. First, these two filters and some conditions to make it an inner join, right? Match the primary key with foreign key. So let's see if it is happening. We want to match this employee ID to this employee ID. That means E.empid to D.empid, which is happening. Then this DID to this DID, D.did, P.did. So it is also here. Department name filter is also here. Status filter is also here. So I think it is correct. What about DRC? Is it also correct?
Yes, sir. This is also correct.
But how?
Can we include like this, like a pending IT inside the tuple, given tuple, like this? Can we include?
Uh, I think it is not mentioned in the session, right?
No, that's what I was also confused, because we didn't do it in this way.
Yes. This is uh, one more syntax to do it. I think it is not mentioned in the session, so it will feel unusual, but it is possible in DRC to do.
So the option C type of thing is also possible.
Yes. If you
Oh,
want to give the, if you want to apply the filters like this IT and pending, then instead of using those equi conditions, just like we used to do in DRC, we can directly mention them when we are defining our whole domain. Domain means boundaries. So it is possible to do.
okay, got it.
Sir, is it similar to select constant word from a table? So all the table which selected, the column will become the constant string which we are given to the select keyword.
Yep.
It is the same logic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is really good to mention it. When we give a string or a sequence like character, so it is going to just match or stick to that only instead of uh, treating it as a variable, right? So after knowing this fact, read this query again and tell me, are you like, is it doing the correct thing or not? You can see some domain defined for employee, some domain defined for department, and some domain defined for project.
Yes, it is correct.
It is returning n. What is n here? N is here. So the
And
second
is your
attribute
name,
from
employee name.
employee. Yeah. What about the last one?
Wrong.
It is doing the cross join.
Cartesian product without any condition on which column we have to join.
Yes.
Right. The last one is not red, but I think it is for 4 marks. It's giving 3.99. So, yeah. Consider the following table user. This is the SQL query. These are the outputs, possible outputs. You have to choose the correct option. So I want you to give me one answer in natural words what this query is trying to do, what type of things I am getting out of it. These type of questions are very common in quiz 1, union and set difference and intersection. So please practice these type of questions. They like it is a common pattern. These type of questions usually come at least once in your quiz. Just read this query and tell me which attributes it will return and what kind of filtering is being applied here. I don't want you to explain whole query. Just make the logic in your head or on a paper. Give me your final answer. What will be the final output of this query?
So it's selecting a particular name and with age greater than 25, and duplicate allowed in this case because union also set constant is not applicable here, and it is including city Delhi but excluding those people who are under the age 25.
You missed the final logic. You can see here we have age greater than 25. Here we have age less than 25. So what actually happened? What type of students or users I am getting?
The
This is the
name
main
should
question.
have age in it. The name should have A in it, and the age should be greater than 25, and the city should be Delhi.
Okay. Will name repeat?
Yes.
Will
Yeah,
the
name will.
same name repeat multiple times?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because
Because of
union all is different.
union all allowed duplicate.
So let's see the first query. It is saying that all such names such that there should be first two characters and then an A. So and age should be greater than 25. Can you filter those students for me or users for me? In these sessions, I am very used to this term student. They are users.
Except 10 and 11, all are included.
Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. One, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
Except the last, only these last two are not satisfying our pattern matching condition, right?
Yes, sir.
And the age greater than 25 is true for Tara, Jaya, Sita, Rama, and Karan, right?
But this A, that pattern matching, it's not applicable for Delhi, no?
For which
Delhi, second.
We are pattern matching in the
For
name.
the name.
No, I'm just asking for the first query for now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It is Karan, Rama, Sita, Jaya, and Tara for the first one.
for the first one, Karan is included and Rama is included,
Rama,
Sita is included,
Sita,
Jaya
Jaya,
is included, Tara is
Tara is
included,
no.
and that's it, right?
1, 3, 5, 7, 8. Yes.
Yep. 1, 3, and 5, and 7.
8.
8 also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we are applying union all with all um, such name and cities where city is Delhi. So we will again do the whole loop on all 11 students and find all Delhi candidates. All Delhi candidates are this one and again this one also and this one. So what will be the output? This Naman will repeat 2 times? No, this uh, Jaya will repeat 2 times, right? And
Yes,
these
sir.
all will be included in our output. And then we are doing the set difference with those whose age is less than 25. Whom will be excluded from this?
No, only Naman. Naman and Uma. Naman and Uma.
Yeah, Uma.
Yeah, so this will be excluded and Uma also. So both of them who were included are now excluded. So that's what I was trying to ask. It will include only those users whose name have this particular pattern and their age is greater than 25 and they are from Delhi. And don't forget this union all, right? So here are the options. Now you will face the duplication confusion. Can you tell me what is our output?
The second one.
Second one.
Second one. But you said that there should be duplication, right? Like for example,
Union is a set operation.
the Delhi and I think Jaya was the candidate who was in the bar of both the Delhi condition and the age and the pattern condition. So shouldn't it get repeated multiple times? What happened? Why Jaya is not getting repeated 2 times?
So, if union all is before except,
Yep.
so then we will not get repeated. If
Why?
so
What is the reason?
So because first one query and then union all and second query, so of course at that time it will have duplicate rows. But
Okay.
when we are taking except with the third query, that
Yes.
time duplicate rows will go away.
Correct. Brilliant. This is the point that I wanted you all to think. In this question, I don't know why they didn't use this as a confusion point. In all the options, I cannot see Jaya repeating 2 times. If Jaya would be repeating 2 times, some of the students will immediately get confused. But the fact is, if you apply a set operation with any collection, even when that row is not, uh, what do you say, getting participated in that operation, but still all the duplicates will be removed. Please remember that. Okay. So if name comma city, if I have a name Salim and my city, let's say Chennai, and my row Salim comma Chennai is repeating 5 times, and if I do a simple union or set difference, maybe that Salim comma Chennai didn't participate in that operation at all, but still in the output I will only get Salim comma Chennai only once. All other duplicates will be removed. This is the fact of set difference or set operations. Okay. So in this question it was fairly easy, but maybe in quiz if you get stuck, then you can always remember this fact and it will lead you to reach to the correct option. Got it? So this is the next question. You are given a create table query, then you inserted something. After that, you run this query. What is the content of the product table after execution? So we are creating a table. We are running some SQL commands. Just see them and tell me what will be the output. In this table, we have product ID as primary key, product name, no constraint, price with check constraint, price greater than equal to 50. So we should only allow those insertions where price is greater than equal to 50. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, fourth row, fifth row. What about this? What will happen?
It will throw an error.
It will throw an error. That means nothing will be inserted.
Yes.
Okay. So currently my table have only 5 rows. Now let's run this update query, update set here. We are updating product, of course. We are setting price to price into 0.8. So we are reducing 20%. Where price multiplies by 0.8 is greater than 60. So after reducing the price by 20%, if the price is still greater than 60, then only update the price. And what is the second condition? The name of the product should be following this pattern. %_e, %e, %. So what did you understand by this? There should be at least one character before E, and there should be at least 2 E's in your product name. So can you first match the pattern? In which rows this pattern is matching? Ghee,
2,
Paneer.
Yes.
4,
paneer,
Yes.
cheese. Okay. Now just focus on these 3 rows. The second condition is if you reduce 20%, that means if you multiply by 0.8, is it still the price? Is it still greater than 60? For the second row,
no.
not true. Right? It will be reduced from 60 and this condition will not be applied. So we are not going to update for ghee. What about paneer?
True.
What is the reduced version of it? 75 multiplies by 0.8.
60.
Great. What about cheese?
Jesus. True.
What is the reduced price?
72 for cheese.
72.
72, right?
So this greater than means strictly greater than?
Yes.
Then 4 will not be there, no?
It is
Paneer.
getting 60.
Exact 60.
Yeah, so it will also not be included. Sorry, I didn't calculate that. So only for cheese, we are reducing the price. For all others, nothing. So first tell me how many rows are present in my table?
5.
5. Dal have 100, ghee have 60, butter have 80, paneer have 75, and cheese have 72. Correct?
Yes.
No. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry. So,
Sir, butter is 64. It is greater than 60. 80 into 0.8.
It doesn't have two E's.
But
no.
It
first
should have two
condition
E's.
is here.
We filtered by the pattern matching, right? We were only
Okay.
focusing on those for updating. So, which option is correct? For dal, we have 100. For ghee, we have 60. For butter, we have
Third one,
80.
I guess.
Paneer, we have 75. And cheese, 70. This one?
Yes.
Correct. It was very easy, right? Can you solve these type of questions in exam?
Yes.
Great.
Sir, one doubt in the previous question, in the union question.
Yes.
Sir, in the place of except, if there was intersect,
Yes.
then duplicate can be allowed, right?
No.
Order of precedence will change. Like first the intersect will execute it, and then the union all will execute it.
Why the order of execution will change?
Because intersect has the highest weightage in the order of precedence, and rest all are the same level, like union, except, and everything else.
But for intercepts, it will not allow duplicate, no?
If you are talking
No,
about the final output, in final output, there will not be any duplicate.
But if the union all is executed a second, then there can be a chance of duplicacy, right?
No, they are already removed from the intersection part, right?
Okay, sir.
But yeah, your order precedence concern is really a good question. Just give me 1 minute. I want you to better answer this question.
Okay, sir.
Right. So correct. So intersect have the highest precedence among these three set operations, and union and except they both have the same level of precedence. So if you give it multiple queries stacked with union and except, they will run in order because they have the same precedence. But if you give intersect, whether it will be given below here, then it will be executed first. So instead of these two getting union first, these two queries will run first, and they will be intersected. And then whatever will be the result, that result will get union with the first query, because intersect have higher precedence than union or except. So whatever you were saying about that was completely correct. If we had intersect here instead of except, then these two queries second and third will merge together, basically get intersected part together, then this union all will run, and we would have the chance of duplicates in that case. So I think this is also a really important fact to keep in mind in exam. If you have intersect in this whole stack of queries, then you should read it like that. You should not read this SQL query from top to bottom. You should read it from the order of precedence. Just like when we were learning SQL, at that time also I gave you a whole precedence level in HTML notes. If you would see that. First of all, from get executed, then where, then in the end select executes. So it is not top to bottom, just like Python. SQL have a whole precedence order instead of top to bottom order. Okay, so if you don't understand it, just listen clearly. Intersect have higher precedence as compared to union or except. Set difference. Union and except have the same precedence level. Simple.
Sir, somewhere it was mentioned like from bottom to top it takes a no.
Why bottom to top?
Like the select the first it will be executed the last one. Somewhere it was there in the notes. It's not for this.
No, it's just like I said, it is not top to bottom, it is not bottom to top. It depends on the precedence order.
Okay.
Execution order. So SQL works based on the execution order, not about this thing. For example, if I move to these HTML nodes, as at the last of week 2, I mentioned this diagram. In this diagram, I mentioned the execution order. First of all, from line executes, then where, then group by, then having, then at the end, select gets executed. When we see the SQL query, a common idea comes into our mind that this select will get executed first.
Right.
But this isn't how it works.
Okay.
So it was really a concerning thing to ask. So thank you for asking this. Which of the following SQL queries correctly retrieves the student ID, student name, and the average marks across all the enrolled courses for students whose average marks is greater than 60? Okay, so collect the information. They want student ID, student name, and average marks across all the enrolled courses for students whose average marks is greater than 60. Okay, so this is the student table, this is the course table, this is the marks table, and these are the options. Somewhere you are given select from where queries, somewhere you are giving with type of query, and somewhere you are given views. In all of them, it doesn't matter so much. In all of them, you just have to see the select from where query and just make sure it is working correctly. Again, read the question very clearly. They want student ID and student name and the average marks across all the enrolled courses for students whose average marks is greater than 60. So whose average marks is greater than 60? This first one. Okay, student 1 is enrolled in 2 courses, CS 2001, DBMS and PDSA both. And the average mark across all the enrolled courses for this student is greater than 60. I think it is evident. If you make the average between 75 and 85, it will be greater than 60. For student 2, again, 58 plus 62 will be less than 60, right? Or it will be mostly equal to 60, but
Equal to
it is
60.
not greater than 60. For student 3 also it is less than 60. Only student 1 is satisfying the constraint of average marks being greater than 60. Which query is doing the thing that I did manually by SQL queries. Read the queries, write them on paper if you want, and figure out. For those who are not familiar with this type of queries, it is kind of similar to the views. It is giving this whole query a name, and after that, it is using that name. Nothing complex happening here, okay?
Sir, option A.
Reason?
So, I eliminated other, like last one is not because it is not checking average marks anywhere. And the third one is also not grouping the student. It
Yes.
is just joining the student and not grouping, so it can't have average marks here.
Yes.
And in the create view, it is checking the maximum marks is greater than 60. Means m dot marks greater than 60. It is not checking the group marks. Like each student marks is greater than 60, it's checked.
Yes.
Here it is not checking the condition greater than 60 also.
There is
Why
this
the
one
first one?
mistake also. It is filtering before the calculating the average in second option.
Yeah, so this with query is doing nothing but finding out the student ID, student name, and average marks grouped by student ID, comma, student name. Right? So if we have 1 comma Rahul, for 1 comma Rahul, what will be the group? Because we are using student ID here, the group will be based on these 2 rows. Am I right? If you read the query, it is doing that. It is selecting s dot student ID and s dot student name, avg of m dot marks from student join marks. So it is joining these 2. We have a normal attribute and an aggregated attribute. That's why it's obvious that we will make join. It is just the condition of joining. After that, they gave group by condition. And in the group by, they gave a tuple. Okay, when you give multiple attributes after group by, it means you are trying to group based on a tuple. And the tuple is student ID, comma, student name. So whenever there will be multiple rows in this join, whenever there will be multiple rows with the same student ID and student name, their marks will get combined as a group and the average will be made. So if you make a join between these two tables using this student ID, it will match these two rows, right? So two rows will be created in the join, and they both are having same student ID comma student name. So just because of this group by clause, their average marks will be calculated in our output as 75 plus 85 divided by 2. And the same thing will happen for Sneha and Amit. For Amit, because we have only a single row, so the average will be just equal to the 40. And after that, what we are doing, we are selecting only those star means all that is present in average marks, and in average marks, all the attributes that were asked in the question are present. So this star is doing nothing incorrect. And the condition is also correct because we wanted average marks to be greater than 60. Right? So it is doing everything correctly, which was incorrect in these three queries.
Sir,
Yes, your doubt.
what is the need to use student name in group by here?
I also don't understand why he did that. Whoever wrote this query, maybe it is to confuse students, because students are not very used to make groups like this.
Sir, is
using
it
multiple attributes.
whatever is there in select, we have to put it in group by?
It is not a mandate. If you would give only student ID here, then also you will get the same output.
Okay.
It is just to confuse the students, I think, who are writing quiz 1. So I think it is, there are some tactics to confuse you guys so that you stay prepared to these type of situations. Consider the following relation bills. Consider the following SQL queries. Match the queries with their outputs. These are the outputs for A8. So the output is just a single number in all these queries. They want you to match them. What is the result of the first query?
Number of rows.
8.
It is counting rows here.
Second one. Count of departments. That means unique departments.
Seven.
Sir, in the
Because 6 is only null here.
Except null, it will count everything.
Null will not be counted. Okay, okay. So you are saying the output is 7. Is it?
Yes.
But there are only sales, HR, and IT and
If it was
marketing. Only
distinct,
4
then it would
departments.
have counted the distinct ones.
Okay, good. So for B, I am considering 7. So it means option 1 and option 3 are ruled out. So let's see the output for C, and we will be clear what is our option. Select count of amount as from bills. So count of amount.
It is 6.
6. That means this option is correct. Let's verify it by saying D and E also. Count of distinct department. Now
4.
4. Okay. Select count of expense name as expense count from bills.
Six.
Again 6. There are only 2 nulls, right? Correct. Great.
Sir, can I give the reason for the last question? Why grouping by the multiple value?
Yes.
Because in the question it is asked like a student ID and a student name should be in the result. So in the group
Yes.
by, if you have to give any attributes in the result in the select, it should be in the group by command also.
Can you repeat that phrase
But
again?
attribute, any attribute in the select clause which we have to show should also must appear in the group by command.
So if I don't include student name here,
we can't give the student, because it creates a new table, right, sir? Like with a new different rows.
right?
So if we have to display a student ID and a student name, so group by must contain a student ID and a student name.
Otherwise, the table will have only ID and average marks. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Aggregate function we can include in the select, but if we want to display attributes, then we have to give that attribute in the group by also.
And if we don't do that, then when we are making a group, then it is being a new collection. So the name of the student will not be identified in this new group if we don't include that in the group.
Yes.
Makes sense. This is the collection. Relational algebra is given. How many tuples are present in the resulting relation? Flight, price greater than 5,000, source, comma, destination, comma, airline. There's something unique about this projection, if you remember.
Yeah, it will show only unique values.
Correct. So the price greater than 5,000 is here, here, here. I think leaving the last two rows, everything, every other row have the price greater than 5,000. So we want to pick source, comma, destination, comma, airline, all unique pairs. So the first one,
6.
second one, maybe not included. The order doesn't matter. That means we are taking only the single instance. Delhi, Mumbai, Indigo. Then Delhi, Mumbai, Air India. And Delhi, Chennai, Indigo. Mumbai, Delhi, Indigo. This is getting repeated. And Mumbai, Delhi, Air India. Yep. And Delhi, Mumbai, Indigo. Right?
So Delhi, Mumbai, Indigo
That's the
already
first order.
taken.
Delhi, Mumbai, Indigo is already there. Yeah, it is already there. So it will not be included. So should I say 5?
Yes.
Yes. Because 3 times we see the duplication. So out of these 8 rows who have price greater than 5,000, we can exclude 3 duplicated rows. This is the schema. On delete cascade is applied. This is the director. This is the movie. Execute the following command: delete from director where industry is equal to Hindi. What is the state of the movie table after execution? Okay, so this ID is used as a foreign key here, director ID. And on delete cascade is implemented. And we deleted all such directors who works in Hindi industry. Assume the second one and the fourth one. How many rows will be deleted from movie table?
3. Director 2 and director 4.
Why they are getting deleted? We didn't delete them, right? What is the reason behind these rows getting deleted?
So on delete cascade will delete.
Because of this on delete cascade.
Yes, it delete the parent.
This is the cascading effect. By the way, how many of you are doing MAD 1? I think I already asked you this question somewhere, but for those who are doing MAD 1 this term, please learn this cascading effect very in a very good way. If you have the MAD 1 project at least, because this is one of the favorite question in Viva, asking this referential integrity constraint. So which option is correct?
So option B.
Bahubali is left, PK deleted, RRR is left, Roja is also left, Gangs of Wasipur and Three Idiots deleted, and Bombay left. So only 4 movies are left. Consider the relational schema given below.
Sir, excuse me, sir. In the previous question, sir,
Yes.
instead of on delete cascade, what are
Yes.
the? Can you just briefly tell what are the other options we can use while creating table?
We can have on delete do nothing, which is the default way. If you don't set anything, it means it will do nothing. Even if you delete all the rows from director, nothing will happen to the movies table. There is one option called on delete set null, which will allow you to set these values, director IDs, to null. So if Hirni and Anurag Kashyap, both of them are deleted, so that means whenever there is director ID 2 and 4 here, it will be replaced with null. This director ID, this and this will be replaced with null. But row will not be deleted. All rows will remain as it is. Okay, so these are the famous cascade, like referential integrity options.
Sir, is this do nothing? Is that the keyword?
Actually, I forgot the actual keyword. Can someone help me recall that?
No action.
No action, no action.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank
It
you.
is called on delete or on update, no action.
There is one more set default.
Yeah, there is one more set default, which is, I don't think it will be asked in this course, but it is about having a default value. So whenever it will be deleted, it will be set to the default value, whatever the default value is. So you want me to explain that in detail?
No, sir, that's fine.
See, there is just when you define your table, to come to this SQL playground, and if I say create table dummy, right, and inside it I'm saying ID varchar 20 and primary key, and the second thing that I'm saying is name varchar 20 again, and then I have one keyword here called default. After default, I can give my name. Okay, so this is how you set the default value. So whenever you want to apply that referential integrity on delete or on update, so whenever something will be deleted from the director table in our example, so the referencing foreign key will be set to this default value that you are setting here at the time of creating the table. Okay, so I can run this query. You can see this query is running. That means this default keyword does exist in our SQL. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, just one more question, sir. For week 7, whether this SQL playground will be sufficient?
For week 7?
Yes, sir.
No, you don't have to worry about it. You guys are very lucky because in this term, we are actively working on different things. We created one more playground for you. Not we, only Praveen sir created these two playgrounds for you. This is Python DB playground. You can run the Python database questions here,
Okay,
which
okay.
will be taught in week 7.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can't imagine it is how good it is. Like it was a very major problem of DBMS. We didn't have enough sources to practice SQL and these Python questions because of the configuration of PG admin and things like that. But now you are having these much resources, so please use them to your most benefit. This is the relational schema given. Find the names of departments that have booked hall ID H0001 or hall ID H0002 or both. So this is just a or condition, right? Anyone is sufficient, but both of them are also okay. In both months of January and February. This is really interesting. So these conditions should be applied in both the months, for January also and for February also. The schema is this. We have hall booking, which is having hall ID, department ID, month booking, and date. This is depths master, where we have department ID and department name. This is hall ID and hall name. Can someone tell me which of them are entity sets and which of them is relationship set? I think you are familiar with ER diagram, right?
Sir, this department master and hall master are the main tables and hall booking is the relationship.
Great. This is the this is a lot. If you want, you can open the same page in your device because a lot of code is written here. You have 4 options. You have a lot of time. Just see these options, filter out the incorrect ones, and tell me which one is correct with the reason. If you will tell me which option is correct, you will also have to explain why it is correct and why others are incorrect.
So I have a general question doubt here. So
Yes.
whether the questions from graded assignment will also come in exam?
Will also come in exam.
Because of that was happening in foundation. So I don't know what's happening here.
I don't see this pattern that the questions are coming as it is. I never saw that in DBMS. But
So
if you
this
practice
question,
P's and T's, it will definitely help.
so this particular question was there in one of the GA, but I don't remember the week.
Okay, then maybe it is coming, but like I didn't observe this, or maybe just I overlooked it. But you can see the patterns yourself. I think it will help.
Okay, sir.
My recommendation is just to practice all things well, because you are not just preparing for exam, you are learning something, and Just doing it for exam is not a long-term benefit. So we want the department names. That have booked either of these two halls in both the months. Okay, you took a lot of time. Let's go from top to bottom. What about the first one? Select department name from depth masters, where depth ID is select depth ID from hall booking, where hall ID is either of these, and month booking in Jan, Feb. Is it correct?
No, sir.
No.
Where will you get this month booking? You are not even using hall booking table. It is incorrect. Second, select depth name from depth masters, depth master, where department ID is in this collection, and this collection is the collection of department IDs from hall booking this time. Department ID from hall booking, where hall ID is either H01 and H02, or department ID in all department IDs from Jan, Union, all department IDs of Feb. And there's an OR condition here. So this is giving an option between hall ID and months. Is it correct? Is it what we want?
No.
No, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So select depth name from depth masters, where department ID in this collection is again the department ID collection, but this time from hall booking, where hall ID is in this table and month booking is equal to Jan. Intersect, select depth ID from hall booking, where hall ID in this and month booking is Feb. Is it correct? What do you say?
Yes, it is taking common from both. It is correct.
It is just taking the intersection of department IDs, which satisfies our hall ID condition and month condition one by one. And then it is checking the membership of department names from using the department ID. So according to me, it is finding the correct thing that was asked. But let's
Why
check the final
option
one.
B is wrong?
Sorry?
Why option B is wrong? It is correct, no?
Option B?
Is correct, no?
Option B is incorrect because it is giving or option between
Okay.
hall ID condition and month condition. And even
But
you are having a union
here
here.
we
So
want any one condition to be true, no? Hall ID or month.
yes. And this is not what we want. We want the departments to book either hall ID 1, hall ID 2, or both in January and February, both.
Okay, okay.
And the third option is doing that, according to me. Select department name from debit master where department ID is in this collection, which is the collection of department ID from hall booking, where hall ID is in this, and select department ID from hall booking, where month booking is Jan, intersect department ID where month booking is equal to Feb. So what is wrong here? It is also looking correct, but there is a very minor problem with this query. What is that? Can you figure out the problem in the last option? Anyone?
You cannot use and, right? And
See, what is this query giving? The collection of department ID?
I think it is wrong because the is it combining with the and. We cannot combining the separate query with
Correct.
and.
This is a whole collection. This intersection is a whole collection of department IDs.
Yes.
And you cannot give the whole collection in the where clause. Right? This is the problem. If you see the third option, here we are checking using this where hall ID in. We are using in operator whenever we are dealing with the what do you say? Whenever we are dealing with the collections, like here department ID in, we are using in operator. So that's why these operators are important. They convert our collection to a true false boolean. Right? So this is the problem with the last option. Please be wary of the subquery type of questions. Always remember, subquery gives you a collection. And in the where clause, you cannot put a collection. You always have to put a boolean inside where clause. Consider the following two tables. So just like I said, there is at least one question of division operator in quiz 1. So I think we discussed division operator. Can you find out the output quickly?
1 and 3.
X and Y.
Yeah,
So there will be two types of filtering, column filtering and row filtering. The column B will be filtered, only column A will be returned, and only those type of A's will be returned for which X and Y both are present. For one, X is present and Y is present. So 1 will be included. For 2, X is present, 3 is not present. So 2 will not be included in the output. For 3, X is present, Y is also present. So the output is 1, 3, 1 and 3. Right?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Suppose we had 3 columns here, A, B, C.
Yes.
So I expect that in the output we will have column A and C.
Correct.
So in that the combination of A and C values should repeat for each.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Consider the following ER diagram. What is the minimum number of tables required to represent the above ER diagram? in the relational model. These type of questions are also very common. I think it is very simple to figure out.
Six.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6. Right? Yes, it is 6. How many entity sets are there and how many relationship sets are there? Can you tell me?
Maybe 3, sir.
4
Three
entity
entity
and
sets?
no, 4 entity sets.
4 entity sets. Which is the fourth one?
Contact number.
Contact number.
The user contact number. It is a multi-valued attributes. So it will
No,
have
I was asking entity set, not the multi-value attribute.
It is attribute.
There are 3 entity sets, right? User, permission, and group. And 3 relationship sets. User permission, user groups, and group permissions.
So user group, we can eliminate user group. No? It is m to 1. So we can provide user ID primary key to the group, and we can eliminate the user group relationship table.
So yes, actually here we should have 4 tables and 2 relations.
Four.
The contact number being a multi-valued will also take 1 table space, and rest of 3 rectangles will have 3 tables. So we'll have total 4 tables, and group permission and user permission will have 1 tables. And user group will be as a primary key and foreign key.
What is the reason behind taking a separate table for contact number?
Because sir, it's multi-valued, so it will have multiple lines per user.
It's because it's make the table big. That's why we have to make the separate table, because we have multiple numbers. So that's why.
So to remove the redundancy, we have to create contact number at different table.
The last instructor session, they had explained it.
Okay, so the decomposition is being considered here. We are decomposing it as a separate table. Makes sense. Yes. sets. There will be one table. There will be 3 entity sets: user, permission, and group. And one table will be given. They are not asking the number of entity sets. They are asking the number of tables, number of collections we have to create, the minimum number of tables. I was confused with the entity sets. So there are 3 entity sets, and this user groups relation is one-to-many relation, and the group is having total participation. So yeah, we can use this user ID in it and eliminate this user groups relationship. And for contact number, for to eliminate the redundancy, we can give it one table.
Sir, can you explain this total participation, like in the group permission? I mean, sir, I'm not able to put in thoughts how this total participation is.
Total participation means that in this relationship, whatever you can see, this relationship is between group and permissions. So it is giving you a guarantee that this group ID will be present in this relationship at least once for every single row. So if group have 5 rows in this relationship, all those 5 unique group IDs will be present at least once. This is just the meaning of total participation. If there is a partial participation, it means that if permission have multiple, let's say 5 permission IDs, then there is no guarantee if all 5 permission IDs will be present in this relationship or not. So when I was saying that this user groups is not needed, first of all, it is one-to-many relationship, right? So this is the biggest reason. When we have a one-to-many relationship, many-to-one is, they are just the flip side, right? So one user can be associated with many groups. If we have a single user, it will be associated or related to many different groups. This can be implemented if we just add a foreign key user ID to the group table. So if we use the user ID as a foreign key here, that means we can cover all the users, because we are guaranteed that in this relationship all the groups are already participating. So if we include user IDs as a foreign key, then whatever is needed in this relation will be included only in the groups table, right?
Yes.
That's why this relation, making a separate table for this relationship is unnecessary here. And they are asking for minimum. If they would not imply this minimum, then we could create the table. Nothing to worry about that. There is nothing wrong with creating a separate table. But they are just asking for minimum. That is why we are trying to be as efficient as possible. That's why also I was confused with this, because they were asking for minimum. But I think it is required to make a separate table for multi-valued attributes. So you can keep this fact in mind.
So sometimes
Yes.
multi-valued attributes are represented as dotted lines. Sometimes it's a double circle. So I am getting confused with that.
I think you should go and revise the ER diagrams from week 4. There are different notations that whenever it is being, the attributes are being underlined with dotted lines, that means it is denoting weak entity sets, the discriminator of weak entity sets. And when it is double oval, it means multi-valued attribute. When it is like, there are different notations. I think it will be a complete different conversation. So I will suggest you to go and practice that.
Okay.
I think there is one tutorial recorded for all ER diagram notations. Tutorial 4.2, I think. Let me check. Yeah, tutorial 4.3. You can watch the tutorial 4.3. It is very comprehensive. When I was learning DBMS, I watched this tutorial and all diagram related doubts were clear. Which of the following options are not true with respect to weak entity sets? So that's why I was having a detailed discussion on weak entity sets when we were learning week 4. Some questions are very common from weak entity sets. So they are asking options that are not true. I used to make a lot of mistake by misreading the question. Like many students have this habit that they always select the correct option and move forward. But please read the question carefully. Sometimes they ask in reverse. They are asking what is not true. First option is true or not? Weak entity set cannot exist independently. There are two things. Weak entity set cannot exist independently and it has its own primary.
So it doesn't have its own primary key.
The second part is wrong.
Second part is wrong, right? It must have total participation in the identifying relationship. Correct?
Sir, can you explain this part?
Yeah, that's see, let's first understand what is a weak entity set. Let's say there is an entity called apartments, okay? In this apartments entity, I have the floor of the apartment and the room number of that apartment. Okay, so giving you the most basic definition of weak entity set is that it doesn't have its own primary key. Okay, this is the first fact. Weak entity set doesn't have their own primary keys. What do they have? They have a discriminator. What is a discriminator? Discriminator is just like a unique identifier, just like a key, but it doesn't give you a guarantee. Okay, just like a key gives you a guarantee that if I have 5 rows, my key will always be unique. But discriminator gives you, in most of the situation, I will be unique, but I'm not giving you a guarantee that I will always be unique. For example, for floor 3, I have rule number 4, I have rule number 5, but there can also be an instance where I have again 3, 5. Okay, this type of thing can occur in weak entity set. That's why there is one fact, and the fact is weak entity set cannot exist. It was already written in the first option. It cannot exist independently. So how will it exist? It always need to associate with what? With a strong entity set. Now you may be getting even more confused that why are we creating such entity sets that are weak? right? And the answer to this question is decomposition. The same thing that we are fighting, uh, duplication of the data, redundancy of the data. So we wanted to avoid the redundancy. That's why we decompose our large tables, and some part of that table is this apartment, which is containing the apartment related information, but it doesn't have its own primary key. Second question you should have, you can have is, why are we not creating a surrogate key for it? Right? You can also have this question. Maybe we can run a loop in this whole row, and I can just create a something like a roll number. Just like we used to create a roll number, we can create AID, apartment ID, as simple as that. Right? And it is a really good question. Why are we not doing that? The answer of this question is, apartment, like all weak entity sets, are created just to be used for a strong entity set. So if a weak entity set is created, you can always assume this, that it is created to have some information of a strong entity set. So instead of creating a surrogate key, we just create a relationship with strong entity set. For example, a strong entity set here can be building. So now someone can come and ask, why are we having two rows? The floor is 3, the room number is 5. In real world, when this situation will occur? This situation can occur when they both are from different buildings. You can have building number 1, and this floor and room is from building number 1, and this room and floor is from building number 2. Right? Now it starts making sense. You can have same floor and same room number in 2 different buildings, and this building is a strong entity set. So in these type of scenarios, we use a weak entity set. Right? So this is what a weak entity set is. Just you need to learn some facts about it. First of all, it cannot exist independently. Second, it always needs to associate with a strong entity set, and its artificial primary key of a weak entity set is nothing but, can someone recall it for me?
Discriminator.
Discriminator of weak entity set. Weak entity set plus
Primary key of strong.
primary key of strong entity set. Right? So if for a building I have building ID, BID, then if someone comes and asks me what is the primary key of apartments, primary key of this weak entity set, then I will just go and I will say that this is how my apartments look. Apartments was floor, comma, room number. And let's say floor, comma, room number itself was a discriminator. Right? So the primary key of this will be building ID, comma, this whole discriminator, floor, comma, room number. So maybe in quiz, this type of question can also come, where someone will ask you to create a primary key of a weak entity set. And it will be very simple. You just have to combine this strong entity set with the discriminator, floor, comma, room number, or something like that. Whatever is dotted underlined. Okay. So you just have to know some terminology, some terms
So
related to weak entity set.
So what is this identifying relationship means?
Identifying relationship is this relationship between a weak entity set and this strong entity set. Because of this relationship, our weak entity set got an identity of itself. That's why it is being called as identifying relationship. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you have any other doubt, you can ask me. Don't leave, don't leave anything as half complete.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Let's come back to our remaining questions because the time is approaching. Remaining options. The other two options are just related to discriminators, right? So discriminator and identifying relationship need not exist. Discriminator is represented by underlining with a dashed line. Which option is correct?
So number
Again, we are selecting incorrect options, like incorrect, like false options, which are not true.
3 is not true.
Third one, right? We just discussed that weak entity set cannot exist independently and it needs an identifying relationship and a discriminator to make a primary key to exist. Fourth option is correct. Discriminator is represented by underlining with a dashed line. Okay. Consider the following employee performance table and answer the given sub questions. Okay, employee ID, name, department, ratings, project, salary. This is a SQL query. Select count star from employee performance E1 where rating is greater than average rating from another employee where their department names are there. Before giving me the final answer, can someone tell me in natural English language what this query is trying to find? Which type of counts it is finding?
so where rating is greater than the department, its own department.
Individual employee rating is better than the department's average rating.
Yes, it is finding the count of such employees whose rating is above average in their own department. Right? Now you can see the table and filter out such employees. Let's do it department by department. For ID department, what is the average rating? 4.5 plus 3.8 plus 4.9 divided by 3.
$4.4.
Average is 4.4.
Yes.
Okay. So Frank is above average. Ram is above average, right? For HR, 4.2 plus 3.5 divided by 2. So it is 8.7 divided by 2, which is
So only
4.35.
only 2 employees. So greater rating will be the above average.
Okay. What is the final answer? Just tell me the final answer. You can do the calculation by yourself.
4.
4.
4. From ID department, how many are above average? 2.
So 2.
2.
From HR?
1.
1. And from sales?
1.
1. In sales department, the average is 4. And only Suresh is above average. Yes. Correct. Consider the following SQL query. Select name from employee performance E1. So again, we are using the same table where projects is equal to max projects from employee performance A2, where E1 dot department is equal to E2 dot department. and department is in this collection, which is just making a group by department and some conditions. Okay, interesting. Read this query, interpret the meaning of it. If you leave this and department condition and just focus on this one, so what is this? In simple language, natural English language, what is this trying to do? Projects equal select max projects and then choosing another employee.
Employees with the max project in each department.
So
Yeah, we are finding out such employees whose project count is the maximum in the whole department, right? So in IT, Frank will be selected. In HR, Thomas will be selected, and in sales, who will be selected? Suresh. What is the second condition? The department is IT and so on, is in this collection of department, which is doing some grouping and all of that. So we are grouping based on the departments and finding out the average and finding out above average departments.
We are selecting here a department whose average rating is maximum.
Yes, not maximum, above average of all employees. So you first have to find the total, like average rating of all employees. Then you need to find out the average of every single department, average rating of every single department, and only select such departments whose rating is above that total average. And after filtering out such departments, you will pick the maximum project employee. Like if IT is selected, then Ram will be selected, and so on. So based on that, I think only one department is being selected, right? Because they had given single name. So which department is not getting filtered out? The total average is 4.11. Total average ratings is 4.11.
Yes, sir. And sales and HR has lower average than.
Yeah. So only IT is left. And what is the maximum projects employee? Ram.
Frank with 7.
Frank?
Yes, Frank.
Sorry, Frank. Yes. Cool. So we were able to solve only one paper in this session, but we learned a lot of things, right? What things to keep in mind when before the exam, what things to keep in mind related to uh, the primary key and foreign key, and related to the TRC and DRC, we saw a very different format of DRC, right? And then what happens? What is the precedence order of intersection and other set operations? And this is fairly simple thing, I think. Uh, yeah, we learned different ways of referential integrity, right? Cascading and setting default, setting null, and so on. Then we also saw the division operator, and this was very important and kind of confusing, especially for me, um, which is the finding the minimum number of tables. And believe me, just by solving the single question, I think it is not enough to practice these type of questions. They repeat again and again. So I will recommend you go to different previous term questions and get very familiar with this format, because highly probable that it will again come in your exam. So be prepared. Then we learned different facts of weak entity sets, and everything else is just generic. So if you have good SQL knowledge, if you have a good um, knowledge of relational algebra, TRC and DRC, set operations, and what do you say, how to manage your schema. If you have good knowledge on these topics, if you are familiar with different terminologies of week 1, 2, 3, and 4, then you are ready for quiz 1, according to my opinion. Okay, so we are ending the session here. Keep preparing for quiz 1, and also week 5, start week 5, and also focus on that. Okay then, bye.